Hello there, everyone. Today's update is on business news. It is the 28th of August, and hot off the press this morning, announcement from Japan, Prime Minister Shinzo Abe to resign on health grounds. The longest-serving Japanese Prime Minister, heralded for his economic reforms, the so-called Abe economics or Abenomics, that have really seen Japan's fortunes increase in recent years. So the Japanese stock market fell on the announcement of his resignation. Company news, UK company Avaya, it's not Aviva, Avaya. They have announced they are acquiring OSI Soft in a $5 billion deal, which will make them the largest tech stock listed in the UK. So already a FTSE 100 player, but they will overtake Sage as the UK's largest tech stock on the back of that acquisition of OSI Soft. Rolls Royce announced a record-breaking loss in the first quarter of 2020, £5.4 billion loss. Interestingly enough, half of that loss is made up of hedging losses. So Rolls-Royce sells a lot of its engines to Boeing, has a lot of its income stream in US dollars, and to hedge against that, it invests in various hedging propositions, hedging facilities with banks and lenders and various things to hedge against the fluctuating US dollar and UK exchange rate. And it had to write down $2.5 billion as a hedging loss because the US revenues just dried up in the second half of, in the first half of the year, in Q2 particularly. So big corporate losses announced by Rolls-Royce. What else has been happening in the world? The Hutt Group. The Hutt Group is a online retail platform. It has just announced that it will seek to raise about £1 billion via an IPO, which will actually value the business at about $4.5 billion. Now that will be the first IPO on the London stock market since the start of lockdown. So encouraging signs of M&A activity and listings and all that sort of thing picking up. But that would be the first IPO on the London Stock Exchange for almost 6 months when that goes ahead. So positive news there. More strife at TikTok. The CEO, Kevin Mayer, announced that he will depart TikTok. He's only been there for 2 months. The former Disney executive has said that there's too much of a political hot potato right now, all the geopolitics going on between the US and China. So he's had enough of that after just 2 months. The Eat Out to Help Out scheme, so that has now come to an end. That was for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays in August. We've just had the last Wednesday in August, so that officially has ended. Been very successful. Millions, tens of millions of meals have been served under the Eat Out to Help Out scheme. So many restaurants have actually announced that they will continue it, but they'll fund it themselves. So the £10 discount, the 50% off up to £10, they will actually fund it themselves rather than the government, to encourage diners to continue with that trend of eating out midweek. So what's been happening in the States? In the US, Chinese rival to Tesla, Xpeng, they're announced that they're going to have a US IPO, and they'll raise about $1.5 billion in the States. So that's the electric car maker over in China, seeking a US listing. Speaking of Tesla, a week ago, their share price hit an all-time high. It was a milestone of $2,000 per share, and that has since continued to climb. So how much further can the Tesla share price go? We'll have to wait and see. Airline stocks. EasyJet announced that it would close its operations at Stansted and Southend and also Newcastle in the UK. There's been a lot of doom and gloom recently for the airline stocks. However, one bit of positive news is that Hungarian-based Wizz Air, they've announced that they will create a new base at Gatwick. Gatwick being the stronghold of EasyJet, coincidentally. So we'll wait and see what happens with Wizz Air, but they seem to be doing pretty good out of the pandemic. Certainly expanding operations, not contracting them. So we'll see what happens to them. So that is the business news roundup for this week. If you like this video, do please subscribe, and I will see you soon.